Hi everyone, my name's Evangeline and I'm the owner of Makeup Tips. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about a product from an incredibly luxurious and incredibly popular brand, and that brand is Charlotte Tilbury. So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow Duo and how it works on all different types of skin tones, more specifically how it works on somebody with a fairer, lighter, sort of more porcelain complexion like myself. So I have a very fair, very light skin. Most of the time, the lighter shade in foundation is even too dark for me. Super white girl problems. So I was very excited to try this. A lot of my friends have used it and I've heard a lot of people talk about it. It's meant to be an amazing product. And I thought, okay, well, how is this going to work on somebody with a skin tone like mine? And well, it doesn't. That's just the basis of it. I thought I was going to love this. I was so excited for it. Charlotte Tilbury do some lovely products. For instance, I love the Mesmerize cream eyeshadows and I also love the Magic foundation. But this wasn't a win for me. So the sculpting shade I was quite excited for because I thought, okay, it looks reasonably cool toned in the pan. But when I went to go put it on my skin, it just looked too warm. So I would not recommend this shade as something for contouring if you do have a fair skin. For bronzing, maybe, but contouring, no. And I know that the main basis of this palette is for contouring. So this product is just way too warm to contour in my opinion. If you have got a fair or lighter complexion, generally you're going to be wanting to opt for something that's a little bit more grey to contour. So you want to sort of use grey because that's the colours that are natural in the skin when it comes to shadows, and they're what's going to look the most natural on your skin if you really want to emphasize and sort of recreate your bone structure. But this colour is just way too warm in my opinion for contouring. Another add-on to that is that this product has a little bit of shimmer in it, and generally when I think of contouring, I think it's got to be absolutely matte. This is a little bit too shimmery for my liking. It doesn't necessarily look like shimmer on the skin, but it does have a sheen to it, and I think when it comes to contouring, you want to go for something completely matte. I will insert a little demo now just of me using the product to contour. I've already done my foundation and my concealer. I used the Charlotte Tilbury Magic foundation just so you could get a really good idea as to how the product works with other products from the brand. And as you can see, it just doesn't look natural on the skin. It doesn't really blend very nicely and it just looks too stark and harsh. It almost looks like a big stripe underneath the cheekbone. So as I said, not a fan of the contouring shade, but there may be light at the end of the tunnel. Well, at least that's what I thought. So the next product is obviously the highlighting shade. So the highlighting is generally something that is pretty universal, and I was pretty excited for this highlighter, but it's far too golden for somebody with a porcelain or pale complexion. So on my skin, it sort of looks like really bad shimmery bronzer. I don't know whether you've noticed already, but it's really not very flattering on me. So even though the product is sort of that pretty champagne shade, it's got a little bit too much golden in it. So as I said, it tends to look more bronzy on a fair complexion. So not a fan of the highlighter either, which is a real shame. Really wanted to love it. But as you can see, I put it on because it's so pigmented, it just doesn't look natural on the skin. It's too golden, and I also found that this powder in particular really emphasized any texture that was on my skin. And for the most part, I've got pretty smooth skin. So if you're somebody who's got acne scars or fine lines or any kind of texture whatsoever, you're gonna want to stay away from this one. So this product is sort of marketed as being a product that anyone can use. It's meant to be suitable for a wide variety of skin tones, light, medium, and even dark. Now, I've got friends who have a tan or olive medium complexion. They absolutely love this. I've got pale skin. I don't love it. I know that Charlotte Tilbury have also recently launched a medium to dark shade for people with a darker or deeper complexion. So that might be worth a try if you are somebody with a darker skin, as obviously the contouring shade in this is going to be too light to actually make a real difference. Highlighter might be nice, but again, you may have that issue of it looking too stark on your skin. So for what is almost $100, I do not think this is worth it. Maybe if the formula of the powders were amazing, I could say, okay, well, it's going to be great. maybe if you don't have a skin tone like mine. But I also found that these powders were really difficult to blend. So I would take the smallest amount of product on a brush, I'd go underneath my cheekbones, and it would just look really stark and unnatural on my skin. And even on other people, I've noticed that it can tend to look quite stark. So it actually looks like a line underneath your cheekbone instead of a seamless contour. And same with the highlighter, it looks like a stripe of highlighter as opposed to a really beautiful, dewy sort of glow to the skin. I just found that these did not blend beautifully and they looked quite stark. I actually had to go in with a foundation brush with no foundation on it afterwards and sort of try and really buff it just to make it look a little bit more natural. But for me, I'm just not a fan of this. I think it's a little bit too pigmented. I think the colors are too warm. And I just don't think that it's worth almost $100. I think there are better contouring products out there. I think Kevyn Aucoin do some really beautiful contouring products, and even the medium sculpting shade is more flattering on me than this Charlotte Tilbury duo. So I'll also leave a link in the description box below to my video on my 5 favorite contouring products for fair and pale skin. So maybe you can give that a look if you are sort of wanting to find a good contouring product and you have a lighter complexion. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you managed to learn a bit more about my thoughts on the Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow duo. If you've got a fairer skin tone or a fairer complexion, then maybe now you can say, okay, well, I was thinking about purchasing this, but maybe I will look into a different product instead. So maybe if you do love this product, that is amazing. Leave a comment below and tell me if you do love it, because I know a lot of people do, and how you find it works on your skin. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you did enjoy it. And I'll also leave links in the description box below where you can find me on all my social media channels.